Hey everybody, it's Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Bastion. Let me start off by asking you to turn off or whitelist me in the ad blockers. Last episode, we unlocked a Easter egg referencing Portal 2, and I don't know really how I unlocked it. I don't know if it was just because I played the game twice. I came in here, and there was this new, add a little asterisk to it, secret attack called gel canister. And when I got the gel canister and equipped it, Rux immediately said something. And then I asked Rux about the gel canister, and I asked Z about the gel canister, and she said I should open it, and when I opened it, I got a sentry turret from Portal. So, wow, seeing that, did not expect that, and it kind of makes me a little sad that there might be some other Easter eggs that I might appreciate and missed the first time I played this game, because I really didn't play the second playthrough through that thoroughly the first time I played this game. On the other hand, the Talos Principle and another series I did had tons of Easter eggs, including, I'm certain, at least one or two Portal references, but none of them really caught my attention to go out and seek them. But that's enough of that. We're going to get another shard, we're going to get another big old pile of fragments, and because we get a big old pile of fragments, we are going to be one of two steps closer to having everything upgraded.
Not much left of Mount Zan nowadays. It's like a cross between a zoo and a prison break.
We haven't heard any dialogue change or recognized any dialogue change as far as this being our second time around, but we might pretty soon. I think the Bastion will get attacked at the end of this level, but I've been saying that for about 3 levels. But if that's true, then we might hear a different dialogue then. Also, we still haven't shown the letter to Zia or Rusk. We're trying to do things different, so by not showing the letter to Zia or Rusk, she should have no motivation to run away with them, and neither should and all that. But I doubt that will really occur. It didn't happen with the Hidebound Journal because the story really needs those events to occur.
Can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now.
I'm actually recording this right at the end of PAX East 2015, and
there's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go.
And I saw,
so they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot.
A report that the voice actor who did this commentary for the game was actually at PAX East handing out gifts and goodies to all the people who paid so much and spent so much effort to go to those events. Oh, taking damage. Just hidden in this. Oh, I have the Calamity cannon. I need to quit not using it. Start using it. Look like this one flower.
Oh. The beasts of Mount Zan go all out.
Took me out. Let's see what happens when we use this. Oh, it makes a turret?
We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard.
So we'll try and use that secret.
Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they could find.
Try and use the secret skill when we're out in the clear. think the first time we see this.
The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. Good thing for those beasts the Calamity saved leftovers.
I got 1 XP for hitting that glowing orb. That's interesting. The only time we've seen the glowing orbs before were in the dream section. I'm getting that feeling that there might be something secretly hidden around here, but probably just being silly. See, there's another glowing orb. Try and hit them all. Even the Calamity cannon that did not take out the cushion on the first shot. That's a little irritating.
They even dragged their children into this.
We didn't kill this guy before we left, and he seemed to run away. Well, this isn't working too well. How much damage can we do?
Without a doubt, the situation stinks.
He's got me on both sides of this. Take this guy out, but I'm gonna potentially die. Wow, 378 fragments. That was a pretty good amount of XP and fragments to fight that. It was a big waste of time, too, but even at the upgrade, at the max upgrade.
Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. There's only one kind of mercy
Oh, look at
left
that!
these
That
days.
was like 3 heals right there. That was 3 revive potions, heal potions.
There's only one kind of mercy left these days.
One kind of mercy, the kind that isn't actually mercy. I think people have been trying to make that argument for a long time.
Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our bastion is everybody's game, not just ours.
Now, if they had bothered to explain any of this ever until the very end, it would sound a lot better, because this whole the conversation starting from here and going on.
What
to
the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves.
Sounds just like Rux is making platitudes and lying, basically. And if you were gonna make it, if their real intent
Takes
was
a
to
lot
make
of
him
convincing, and our
be
mortals have to do the
questionable,
talking.
then he needed to have been caught in a couple of dumb lies earlier, and he needed to have been a bit more cynical about it, because I'm not left with everything he's saying thinking he's not telling the truth. I'm just left with thinking he's exaggerating or not understanding what he's talking about at all.
Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast.
The fact of it is that first time through, you don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't sit and explain it. There should have been a scene where he sat down and explained.
Those beasts been hard at work fixing up the place.
That the Bastion can go back in time, or reset time, however they want to play it, however they want to say it works. And he should sound really enthusiastic about it, but a little too enthusiastic about it, like he might be a little crazy. And the fantastical story he's telling, plus the right way of vocalizing it, could leave you in this quandary. Do you trust him, or do you think he's
They've rounded up
it?
their survivors, just like we have.
This is even slower than the using the water here is even slower.
They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have.
$156 XP. Wow. Wow, did I just take out a big part? I just threw it. There you go. So that's what this trigger works for. But it only seems to be facing a specific area. This entry.
Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have.
So, we'll go ahead and use the...
We just really need their shard.
What is... Let's see. Go ahead and toss that there.
Kid got it fair and square.
I see.
Watch my health. It's real important to watch the health. Almost died right there. So I've got my two guys here locked down on these guys, but you know what?
You don't need to keep tangling with all those things.
Let's just leave.
He's done what's best for him, don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete.
So that really goes to tell me that if I was to play this a third time, which I doubt I will, there is an even more peaceful way of playing than I tried to on the first time. Trying not to hit Bash characters as much as I have been hitting all of them so far, and not really having a storyline or a reason for doing it, and then not attacking the creatures. So let's ask her about the gramophone, but not the sealed note.
Fixed that thing right up, didn't we? Made these goings-on a little livelier.
So now we can turn on some music.
The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though.
So I have 2 more shards. Let's see. Let's go ahead and upgrade this one.
The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection.
Let's see. Look here and see if there is any new secrets. Nope.
With that mortar and hammer, he's like a one-man demolition squad.
Yeah, I don't want that mortar. Notice too that we do get the weapon at the very last level of the battering ram, and you don't get to use that in any of the other levels, which just kind of goes to show they didn't program for it to actually be used in any of the other levels.
The Armada sure could have used one of these back in the day. A pinch of fairy dust, and it's all set.
So we have now upgraded everything. The only goal now is just to get like 5 upgrade materials for no real reason.
And that's everything. Mother knows he's paid his dues in that forge.
That's new dialogue.
Suppose it's true a little song can put things in perspective.
So we'll go back and see if there's any new secret trick again. So now we have no reason to even keep the fragments. There's just no reason. But we might as well collect them, since there's no reason not to collect them. We'll just see how many we have at the end. We are just on the verge of unlocking a level 9, getting one more tonic slot. And create every structure on the Bastion is 1 more shard? That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I guess 1 more shard is what we need. And then we'll upgrade the shrine, and I don't think that'll do anything for us. I'm a little at a loss.
Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right?
Let's go ahead and do the Boundless Bay Proving Ground. Shouldn't be any trouble at all.
Boundless Bay used to be a weapons test and dry dock. Ain't never been this dry, though.
I guess we'll just save the fragments.
Celandia's
I can buy
Armada
the
was a
upgrade
glorious
materials,
sight, and our ship's
but
mortars
there's
were
no real reason
unstoppable.
to.
At Boundless Bay, Our Navy put those mortars through a rigorous inspection.
This is an interesting area because you're next to water, and this is the kind of only place in the entire game where you're next to water at all. So assumedly the water falls off the edge of the screen, and all of this is floating, but maybe this isn't floating. Maybe this is what the world looked like before, and this is your little peek into what it looked like.
Had to use squirts to simulate explosive impact on the surface of the sea.
Alright. So the trick here is you just kind of want to select the right thing, the middle, and just wait until a big chunk of them are in the middle. So I've gone too far.
Choosing targets with those mortars was one of the trickiest parts. Galleon skippers needed to be patient, needed to fire at just the right times.
Oh, see, it left a puddle. So that's 3 shots. That's 8 more.
You could almost see the fireworks over Boundless Bay.
87. I think you had to do over 75. You obviously didn't have to do all 90 of them. This is right where I'd like the upgrade materials to turn into fragments, but it doesn't matter because the other thing is turning into fragments, getting shards. And so they balanced out the game in a different way than what I would have thought.
Good thing we got to that mortar before the beasts of the wild learned how to use it.
So first try, which is great news. That's either the second or third proving ground where we have gotten it done on the first try since we broke our streak, and it's about our 8th or 9th proving ground in total we got done on the first try. And this has almost everything to do with being upgraded. It's worth mentioning, we're sticking with the 30% fragments, 30% XP, but it's getting a little difficult. That last run we did use 2 continues because we were just getting overwhelmed by creatures, and just them doing a lot of damage to me. So we may have to eventually turn that down, and we'll probably turn it all the way off to do the dreams, just so we get it done on the first try since they're pretty long. But that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out with YouTube. If you want to support me through fan funding, donations, click on my name, Rydo. That takes you to my main YouTube page. On the right there is a blue button that says support this channel. Any amount you can donate whatsoever will be greatly appreciated. If you want to follow me on Google Plus or Twitter, or friend me on Steam or Battle.net, all that information is down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.